Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today's an exciting video for me because I have found some discarded equipment that somebody else has given up on. It may run, it may not. I'm going to guess it probably doesn't because it usually doesn't when somebody throws it away. But here I've got a Stihl chainsaw, a Troy-Bilt 4-cycle trimmer, and a Troy-Bilt 2-cycle backpack leaf blower. So let's see if we can get all this running. Well, the first piece of equipment that I have here that I'm actually the most excited about because I have wanted a backpack leaf blower for some time, but also the most nervous about because it looks like it has regular gasoline in it when it's a 2-stroke engine. The gasoline looks like it's a bit aged. So I'm concerned that this engine may be damaged if it's been run off of regular gasoline, and it will run, but it won't lubricate the engine like 2-cycle fuel gasoline will. So the first thing I'm going to do is drain all the gasoline out of this and put fresh, known to be good 2-cycle gasoline in. And I've got some 50-to-1. It's actually a little bit rich. It might be closer to 40-to-1 gasoline I'll put in here. And at that point, I'm just going to try and see if it starts and take it from there. So let's get this gasoline drained, see what it looks like, and get some fresh gas in it. So I'll tell you guys straight away here that this is a big part of our problem. This is probably why somebody was throwing this away. It wouldn't start, I'm assuming. I haven't actually tried to start it yet, but with this gas, I don't think it would start. This doesn't look like 2-stroke gas, and also it's very dirty. It could be a couple of years old. And you know, for a piece of equipment that has cobwebs on it, it very likely could have been sitting for a couple of years and the gas has gone bad, not to mention it's the wrong gas. So let's get some 2-stroke or 2-cycle gas in it and see if we can't get this to start. Well, so I got the bad gas out of it, and again, it's this brown nasty color, and now I put 2-cycle gas in it, so you can probably see it has more of a blue color. So it's got the proper gas now. I have changed nothing else. So I haven't pulled the spark plug. I do know it has compression. It's got good gas. I'm going to put it full choke and push the primer. The instructions say press bulb 10 times. Let's see if we can get some gas in here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pulling gas, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got like 4 or 5 solid pumps there of gas. Let's see. So that is on. So let's see if it'll start. Give a little bit of throttle. That's a good start here. Let's go to the second stage. This doesn't have very good tabs, but this is about half choke. Try again with some throttle. Okay, so with no choke it's stalled, but it's cold. So let's go back to a little bit of choke. Also, if it was totally dry on fuel, it may take a minute to get some fuel coming in here. The line's really dark, so I can't really see if there's gas in there, but let's try it again. Okay, that's a start, so we're getting somewhere. So at this point, I'm going to give it a few more tries just to see if it's a matter of pulling fuel into the engine and see if I can get it to run on its own. If not, we may need to adjust the carburetor. But first, let's just see if the lines are dry and if it'll start and stay running. Alright. So again, this is probably why it's sitting out by the curb and somebody threw it away, because a lot of people want to pull the cord and have it run. And with good maintenance, it will. But if it hasn't been maintained in a while, it does this. And what do you do at that point? A lot of people don't know. So I'm going to see if I can get it to actually run how it should. Okay, so I did a little bit more work on this, and usually, hopefully I don't jinx myself here, but usually it doesn't take much to get these running, and it doesn't take much more to get them running good. So all that I did in this case is I pulled the spark plug out, and yeah, it was a little bit wet from trying to start a few times, and probably part of the reason it stopped running is because the spark plug just got fuel soaked. So I took the spark plug out, air dried that with a blowgun, put the spark plug back in. But then also another thing I see real common on these 2-cycle engines, especially if they sit for a while, and it doesn't take long, maybe 6 months or a year, especially with ethanol gas nowadays, is there's a fuel metering valve here, and it takes a special screwdriver to turn these. In this case, it's what they call the Pac-Man bit. So I got a set of screwdrivers a while ago, these special small engine screwdrivers, for about $20 online, and they've got enough adapters where I can service pretty much any small engine. I haven't run into one yet that I haven't had the right drivers for. But what I do when working on these is I start with the assumption that at one time it ran good. So the first thing I do is turn the screw all the way in and count how many turns it goes, because after I pull it out and look at it and clean it, put it back in, eventually I want to go back to that same spot as a starting point to try and get the engine started and adjust it from there. So in this case, it's a little bit more than 3 turns. So what I do is I drive it all the way in gently, and that's going to help work some of the corrosion off. Then I bring it all the way out so I can take a look at it, go back in, go all the way in, back a bit, all the way in, back a bit, real gently to clean it off, and then leave it about the place where I started. So I've got that back in, back about where it started. I've got clean 2-cycle fuel in it. Spark plug is cleaned off. So at this point, I'm going to give it another try, and I'm more optimistic it's going to start and stay running, although it may need some adjustments. So let's give it a try. So we'll give it a few pumps again here. And I'm going to go back to all the way choked. One other thing I haven't looked at is the air filter. And yeah, the air filter looks fine. So, oops, pulled it apart the wrong way here. But you know what, to get started, we'll just leave the air filter and the cover off. That's fine, we'll put it together in a little bit. So, all the way choke on, let's give it a pull. So already it's trying. Let's go to the half choke. Maybe just a little bit of throttle. Okay, so before I go much further, I'm going to pull the spark plug back out, see if it's getting fuel soaked or if it's dry. And that's going to help tell me whether I'm getting no fuel coming into the engine or if I'm getting way too much and it's choking out. If that's the case, then maybe starting on choke is actually more of a problem, since it is pretty warm out right now. Clean the spark plug again and maybe try with no choke. So let's give that a try. Well, I want to install a spark plug out of another Troy-built engine of mine. I've got a few different Troy-built pieces of equipment. So I found another spark plug. It's a little bit cleaner. I know that other, it's for my edger, I know that it runs well. So that'll roll up the spark plug here. Also this time I'm going to start on half choke instead of full choke, and maybe that'll help us a bit here as well. So let's give it a couple primes. I'm not going to give it the full 10 because we've already had it running a little bit. I don't want to flood it with fuel. And we'll see if she starts here. Let's lock on the throttle. Okay, so it's running now. Let's see, I let go of the throttle and I pulled the choke off and it stalled. So I did two things. I probably should have just done one. Let's see if we can get it to start back up. I'm gonna lock the throttle on again. So now the choke is off. We'll see if it'll start. So what we learned here today is before you throw away your yard equipment, go online, find a $20 set of screwdrivers, buy a new spark plug, drain the gas, put good gas in it, clean everything up, and you can probably get these pieces of equipment running again, even if they sat for a while, and get a lot more use out of it. So thank you for watching. If this video was helpful, please leave a comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.